So first, I want to thank you all for coming. Not only am I digital native, as James was saying, I did start the NIH Facebook strategy, and but I also was like you. I was a small business owner. I was the donut guy. I ran small donut shops in the Northern Virginia area. So I was up. I was up making donuts, and hey, I get it. Thank you for coming here. Really appreciate. I know how your time is valuable. So I hope that we're able to give you some good information about how you can get your business found and really get some good leads and customers into your business. So I like to tell stories. Okay, so you're going to see me tell a lot of stories. I love to give analogies. That's how I paint the picture. So I'm going to talk to you about content. Okay, so James talked about how you're found on Google. Well, when they find you, what kinds of content are you presenting out there? And as he said in the primordial, well, that was some good, 25-cent words there. But back in the days, 2009, Google did only look at the back end of your website. What kind of content did you have in there, right? But they realized real quick that companies were engaging in what I like to call shenanigans. The Ford dealership was putting Chevy keywords in the back end of their website, right? So incorrect results were showing up in search. So Google decided, as James pointed out, to look at all different areas. Directories, reputation sites, which I'm going to talk about. Reputation sites like Yelp. What are people saying about your business? Google looks at this kind of stuff. So it's a couple different things you're looking at here. A, it's important for Google, but B, it's important for your reputation. So I do like to talk to people about their reputation, and I'll tell you a story. We worked with a merchant, claimed his Yelp page, and we sat down with him to consult about how to get better reviews up there. Well, as we're looking at his Yelp page, we noticed that he had one bad review. It was from, 3 years ago. So it was up there for a while, okay? 2011, 4 years ago. So we looked at that review, and it was a bad review. The guy had 1 star, and he got blown up. I tell you what, the guy just was just nothing. Didn't like anything. Didn't like his product, didn't like his services. Everything was bad. Well, he didn't respond back to it. But one thing you can tell is how many people viewed that review. So anyone want to venture a guess, not you Dave because you've heard this before, venture a guess on how many people saw that one bad review? 5,000 I think I heard. Well, the answer is 77,000. 77,000 views, impressions on that bad review. So you look at that, the guy about fell out of his seat. I mean literally he fell out of his seat. He didn't even know the review. He kind of looked like Pete Carroll when the interception happened. But I'll tell you what, so, and then we started talking about reputation, and he said, well, it never dawned on me that I should have spent time, effort, maybe even money to get more good reviews to kind of push that bad review down, right? So we talked about these theories here. Monitoring, what's out there? What are people saying about you? Management, what happens if you get a bad review? What do you do? How do you address it? And then control is what do you do to get good reviews, right? So again, you're working on your reputation, you're helping your Google search results, but you're also painting a good picture of your business. Secondly, I want to talk about content, types of content. You know what? We don't need to just write text anymore online. We can do things like pictures, video. Do you know that on Facebook, 120%, you get 120% more engagement when you put a post with a picture on it? Okay? It's amazing, right? People don't want to see boring text. They want to see the different options. So here's an example of our eye care guy in Madison, Dr. Shapiro. He started his Facebook page and he wanted to thank people for coming to his page. Instead of just writing, thank you for coming to my Facebook page, he actually filmed a video. And in his video, it was not a long video, a 1-minute video, Dr. Shapiro, very engaging character. So he filmed a video and put it up on Facebook.
He had one of those fancy TV cameras.
No, but you know what? See that camera back there? He did not have one of those cameras back there. Nor did he have a professional videographer like Mike back there that charges $2,000 an hour to film him and edit his video.
Sorry, Tristan, please.
What he did was he used this, right? He used this, Dr. Shapiro. right? His office manager filmed it. And he put it up there, right? It's as simple as doing that to engage your Facebook audience, right? Then once you've created this great content, what do? You distribute it, okay? I have two of the big dogs here, Facebook and Twitter, right? That's social media. But I also have, what's down here, YouTube. Now guess who owns YouTube? Anyone? Google. And what did James Clark say? Google loves Google. Yes, they're paying attention. I think they have more of an attention span than your goldfish. Google loves Google. Put your videos out on YouTube, right? Even if any video, right? You got to get your YouTube channel out there. Google loves that. They're going to index you. You're going to show up. What about email? Well, we're going to talk about email. No one ever uses email, right? Everyone's using social media. Well, not the case. But let me first talk about social media because it is an interesting platform for you to distribute your content. Why is it important to distribute on social media? Yes, people use it. 1.4 billion people use Facebook every single month. Right? They just released that stat last week. That's a lot of people. Let me tell you a story. So my mom's 81 years old, okay? And she calls me up the other day, and I actually answered my phone when it rang. I use it more than just text. So I answer my phone, and she is on the other line. She goes, she's really worked up. Oh, Troy Parkins.
It really sounds like it.
And I'm like, whoa, Mom, are you okay? Did something happen? I can't. She was so frustrated she couldn't talk. And I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? She says, oh, I don't know what to do. You need to get me on this thing. It's called the Twitters. I'm like, the thing called, oh, she wants to get on Twitter. Then it dawned on me, why in the world does my 81-year-old mom want to get on Twitter? What, Mom? Why do you want? Well, you know my favorite show, Fox and Friends. You know they tell me I get on Twitters after they get off the air. Well, okay, I'll translate. She loves Fox News. She loves her favorite show, Fox and Friends. You know what they do at the end? They sign off and say bye, but follow us on Twitter. So what do? I set up a Twitter account for my 81-year-old mom. And she's following Fox and Friends and who else on Fox News? And she follows him too, surprisingly enough.
Bad idea, especially if you watch.
So, the funny thing is, my 81-year-old mom is on there, right? So when merchants say, I don't know, the older demographic, well, they are on there. That's one of the biggest growing demos on Facebook. Grandma's looking at their grandkid's picture, right? So it is important to distribute on social media.
And his mom is following a business.
That's right. That's right. She wants to buy stuff. She hasn't quite mastered online shopping, thank God, but anyway. Email, very important as well. I talk to merchants and they say no one uses email anymore. These kids these days, they're Snapchatting, they're direct messaging, they're using Twitter, all this stuff. They're not using email. Well, I'll tell you this. What's the first thing a kid who doesn't have an email address, when they graduate college, what are they going to do when they start to look for a job? Create an email address. When was the last time, if you're hiring, I know he's a digital guy over here. If you got a resume with someone's Snapchat handle on it, what would you do?
Post a picture of it to Facebook and say, ha 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 ha.
Exactly. In other words, he wouldn't hire the person.
Yeah.
So they're gonna put their email address on there. They're on email. Actually, email for every single demographic, from my 81-year-old mom to that high school kid or that college kid that just graduated, they are on email. And you can reach them there because look at this, they're highly qualified. Either you collected their emails already because you're marketing or you've sold them products already. They want to hear your message, right? So you can upsell them, you can sell them more stuff. Or even more importantly, maybe the people that you want to reach, they're not in your email database right now. This is when I talk about email marketing, right? They may be interested in what you're selling. Like me, for example, I love baseball. So I sign up for baseball lists. They market bobblehead dolls. They market baseball cards to me. They market my San Francisco Giants championship gear.
You have mastered
and
online shopping.
I buy tons of that stuff because I want that stuff. It's highly targeted emails coming into my box. It's not like it was 5 years ago where I would get Hello Kitty emails that I don't buy that stuff. No, I'm getting Major League Baseball stuff. You can do the same thing, and email is a great way to do it. So think about email. Now James is going to talk about how to drive qualified traffic to your website and your properties.